3 Points of Articulation podcast. Yes, we are live. You're through to the 3 Points of Articulation podcast. I'm your host, the Big Tasty, Jamie Wills, joined as per normal with my co-host, Johnny Flashback.
Howdy.
And Adam, the Wrestling Man.
And you had a flashback to your job then. You're through to the 3 Points of Articulation. You made a lot of calls tonight, Jamie. It's
nice, isn't it? You're through to, which means that you've pressed the button and you've come through to us. I thought it would be a nice transition from that.
Beautiful.
And we're also not live. We are pre-recorded.
They're live in their ears, all right? Bloody nitpicking, pair of you. How are you both anyway? Johnny, how are you getting on?
Much better than last episode. I was a little bit under the weather when we recorded last time, so a bit more fitter this time. Feels like ages since the last episode, though, for some strange reason.
I thought I'm over the weather. It's too hot. It was really hot in the last episode. I melted around halfway through. Adam, how are you getting on?
Yeah, good. Lack of sleep recently, but yesterday I slept all day and night, basically, so great.
Not jealous. Yes, make sure you like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, as well as subscribe on our podcast providers with loads of content. I did a few interviews yesterday. We got one with Kev Idden from the Wrestling Figure Retrospective coming up. Should be next weekend, I would have thought, sort of the first weekend in August. But apart from that, boys, we've got loads of unboxings and so on that we're taking care of as well on there, which is always good. But apart from that, we've got a massive news segment. News World Order time now. This is Mattel-less because we're covering Break It Down segment. It's the San Diego Comic-Con at WWE Mattel special. So, boys, should we start off with have a look at Storm Collectibles to kickstart us off? I put on our Facebook group about Jushin Liger, the 3 different variants that they've released for there. There's a lovely little green, a purple, and a red. I say purple, it's more of a lilac sort of colour. Johnny, so you would have seen these images. What's your view on them?
It reminded me of the full set of Power Rangers. I think he's got every single colour going there, and especially the green one looked a lot like with the old the Green Ranger a bit. And I think I told you guys that one Liger is probably enough for me. I've not got any interest in these ones.
Have you actually got that one?
Yeah, I've got like the mid-90s one or whatever it is, the first one that come out.
White and red WCW type of one.
With a gold thing on.
Yeah, I mean, these are so toyetic. They're absolutely beautiful, every single one of them. The purple one is the best by a long, long, long shot. But like Jono says, if you're not a massive Liger fan, you've kind of got enough. I've got the mid-90s WCW one, and I think that's enough for me. I may be persuaded at the purple one if I find it on sale, but they are amazing. If you're a Liger fan, you're in Dreamtown.
Definitely. I think you mentioned the Green Ranger. I've still got nightmares as a kid. That's when he turned on the Power Rangers, so don't bring that up. But yeah, I think toyetic is the only thing that comes to mind with Jushin Liger. It's so many looks, so many outfits, and all of them would make sense as a figure. So I don't know if they've released the one where he had an NXT. During he had a match with Tyler Breeze. Have they released that sort of area yet?
I can't remember why he wore that point. I thought it was just his regular standards kind of.
I think it was his normal kind of one because he wanted an outfit where obviously everyone would recognise it. So I think it was his basic white and red one.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's fine. I wouldn't mind picking that one up then because it was a hell of a match that was. I remember watching that. So move from Storm, move on to Cella, shall we? So we had the first image of giant haystacks released, which is just in a picture of someone's massive hand. For some reason, they thought they need to do that rather than taking an actual studio shot for it and releasing it. But also with that, it come hand in hand with a lovely new reveal of like a little snippet, a little like Big Daddy, which everyone's speculating on. What do you guys think of those two coming? Johnny?
Absolute great choices for the line. With Cella being a British company, it's excellent to get the British legendary wrestlers in it. So you'd imagine that you'll do haystacks and then they'll do Big Daddy and then go further on into the British sort of wrestling crowd. with the likes of Kenzo Nagasaki or Mick McManus and those types of names from world sport. I think it'd be interesting line to go down for that, for Cella.
Yeah, definitely. It's one that really should spark memories, because I did watch World of Sport loads on Saturday afternoons, but I was slightly, my memory's not great, and it's slightly passed me by a little bit, but obviously I do remember the characters. I'm quite big into my 1985 era as well, and Kendo Nagasaki was in NWA in 1985 as well, so that'd be a great one for me to pick up. He didn't last very long. Neither did Giant Haystacks. He was in WCW as well. Loch Ness, was he?
Yeah.
And yeah, they didn't seem to last very long, but I would definitely buy them both. Definitely.
Jamie?
Good stuff. Well, obviously, Giant Haystacks comes with a brown and a blue variant, which, as you guys can count, that's 2 variants. And 2 variants, some people say, is the best number to have of variants. Who doesn't say that? It's Nick Aldis. We've had 5 reveals of Nick Aldis variants, which is very much too much for me. We've got the Black Pants Nick Aldis variant, which is exclusive to Wrestling Trader, who I tweeted, who acted very coy about the whole thing. They were like, "What about, mate?" And then once it was revealed, they admitted that, yes, that sticker in the corner of the box that says Wrestling Trader Exclusive meant that it was a Wrestling Trader Exclusive. We've also had the blue attire, Nick Aldis, the all gold, which I stupidly went for out of all of them, purple attire, and the Crockett cap where he's cut a little bit. Chaps, have any of you guys picked this? It's been speculated quite heavily during the week, but Adam, will come to you first.
No, I've got the one Nick Aldis, and that's enough for me. It's a bit cringy, if I'm completely honest. It kind of seems like it's just, I don't know. I mean, Johnny will be able to explain it further, I think, with the conversations that you've had. But for me, it's kind of, let's repaint them and try and sell them because they've not sold. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know.
I'll just first start off by saying, they had a chance to maybe improve on the last Nick Aldis and put a different head on these bodies, and they haven't done that. So it's a bit disappointing to see that. I think the word you're looking for is hysteria. Nick Aldis hysteria has hit, certainly in the Facebook groups we follow with Legion Hasbro especially, everyone's going mental for these because they're in limited numbers, or so it seems. And yep, I've been hit by the bug as well, and I've managed to pick up, I think, 2 of each over the last couple of days, whether it's between Cella or Wrestling Trader, that magically got all of them in the next day. So it was a bit skeptical the way they've done it, because they say there's only 100 of each, but maybe they put 50 on sale one day, 50 the next day.
Well,
I'm lost.
That's the thing. You've got the Nick Aldis website, which originally, when we first spoke about it, said limited to 7. Yeah. Only 7 available, which at the time you think there's 7 of each figure available. That's not correct. It's 7 that are available with the signed, personalized, and the 8x10 and a signed letter. So there's 7 of those packages available.
That was very cool. I almost went for that, thinking that there was only going to be 7 in the world of this figure. I mean, even if you are paying $99 each plus shipping, that value is just going to skyrocket if it's only 7. But I knew there was something fishy in the works, and that they were going to be resold as normal. Well.
Fishy it was. You're right to think it absolutely stunk, because the day after we had the reveal that they would be on the Wrestling Trader at 8 p.m. in the Black Pants, which we thought, oh, that's interesting. Wrestling Trader, that's when we had the reveal. So they flew off the shelves the second they become available at 8 p.m. It was Friday night. And then we had the Cella Toys news that Saturday morning at 8 a.m. they would have 100 available of the figures. Once again, it was worded that there's 100 available on the site, not 100 available of each figure in the world, which once again, for me, a tad misleading. And then today we understood that, yesterday maybe, that Wrestling Trader had 100 of each again available on their website. So it's 207 at least in the world.
I think you've got the story right, but I'm not sure there was 100 on each sale at one point. I think there may have been like 50 or something, and then 50 the next day. There may well be 100, but don't quote me on that.
It's a loophole, I think. I think they said only 100 available.
It's all very sticky, really, isn't it?
Sorry, Adam, go ahead.
Very quickly, John O'Here, seeing as you've got so many of them, are
Yeah.
you a massive Nick Aldis fan, or are you doing it in the hope that they will increase in value?
Definitely B. I don't mind Nick Aldis. I think he's one of the better sort of indie wrestlers, for sure. And I like his gimmick, and he makes things quite prestigious in a way if he's involved. So I would say I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of the head on the figure, but the rest of the body's pretty good. And you're right, it's called hysteria. It's the fear of missing out. It's the fear of, you paying 15 to 20 pounds for this now. It could be worth 50 quid next week or something, or when it actually does arrive.
I will try my best to pick you up the Oblivion Gladiators figure then if I see it on eBay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Well, Jet is the best gladiator. We all know that. Yeah, so the reason I think there's 100 available per site is because I think you actually, Johnny, that said there was 52 left of the gold.
Yeah, I might have said that.
Yeah, and that was after a few hours, and I'd picked one up by that point. So it makes sense for it to be 100 per site, which is a bit misleading, but fair play to them.
Well, on the Wrestling Trade, I remember checking it. I think that it was about 20 past 8 that I went on, and it said it had 15 left. And then I refreshed it, and then there was 10 left. And then I bought 2, and it seemed to like stick around 8 and 7 for the rest of the night. So I don't know whether they had 100 on the first night or not, or whether they had 50 on the first night. Then, because they did on the second night release every single other figure as well. It's all very confusing, and I'm not going to claim to know what's going on.
I don't think Nick Aldis does. Right, so Cheddar Variants. We also had the pre-sale launch party of Joey Knight's figure. Joey Knight, friend of the podcast, technically Joey Knight, the first interview we had. 3 variants for it. You had the pink variant, you had the green variant, and the sort of purpley one with a bit of green piping down there. Lovely it was. Johnny, did you manage to pre-order one?
Yeah, 2 of each. I just went on that pre-order form. You didn't have to pay any money. It's just sort of express interest, really. I think after that he's going to send you an invoice for what you've selected and go from there. I suppose there was options for getting it signed free, which is nice. Seems like Joey's taking care of the whole thing himself, so it's a very personal touch. And because we've got to know him a bit better, it's kind of like a good thing that I feel like we're helping him out, and he's getting a little bit of a push at the end of his career in a way.
Adam?
What a legend. What a legend he has become, especially around the Facebook groups like Legion of Hasbro. In my eyes, he's done everything perfectly. What you want out of somebody who, yes, he wants to sell a figure, but he also wants to make sure that he's a name. He wants to make sure he's remembered. He wants to make sure his wrestling career is looked at and things like that. He's just done everything perfectly, and what a gent he is as well. I mean, I didn't manage to catch the pre-sale because I was working, but it's just brilliant. Just what a guy.
What a guy indeed. I managed to pick up the pink one and the purple one as well. I'll get him to sign it for me. And I'll tell you what, Adam, I'll send you one of mine. Only because I
already got them, pal. It's fine.
Oh, there we go. Well, then try and make out that I missed out then.
You realise, is it the green one that's 25 quid, or is it the purple? I didn't realise that when I first ordered it. Well, it put a little special deal through for Legion of Hasbro members. You posted that, so that was good of Joy to do that for us.
Are you getting any signed? Either of you two?
I said to sign, one of each, but I haven't did any sort of message or anything. So just to sign them however he normally does it.
I put a no on mine. It's not because I'm going to be flogging them immediately on eBay or anything. It's just I'm not a massive signed person.
Yeah, because I'm opening half of them, there's no point signing them.
No, I'll get into some of mine because it's nice to have, isn't it? I had a good chat with them. So I'll get into sign on there. But yeah, it was the 15 quid each on the figures, which I thought was relatively reasonable, and the 25 for the purple one, which once again, it's for a 1 of 100. It's not too bad, is it?
Yeah, definitely. Just wasn't sure.
I don't know if that means it's 1 of 100 on Joey's website, or whether we're going to see one on Wrestling Megastore or something in a week's time.
Yeah.
Shall a swift move over to AEW with Jazz Words?
We need to stay with Cello. We've still got a lot of new.
What have I missed on Cello?
We've got the reveal of Haku. King Haku is a Cello figure, and he's going to be in the classic King attire from WWF 1989. So he's like one of these guys that was a miss for the Hasbro collection originally. So this is, probably up there with one of the most sought after retro figures ever made, really.
Yeah, we had the art reveal, didn't we, by Brian Tipping Jr. It looks amazing. It comes with the clothesline arm, which is a great choice. I think most customizers that make Haku seem to make him in the jumper, which definitely wouldn't have been for me. He's got the crown on the tights, which is great. Whether they can maybe get an accessory in, I don't know how the rights would be with that, but you never know. There is a chance there. Looks really good. It's one that everyone cries out for.
Yeah, I agree. You tend to normally see the jumper as a hacker. I don't know whether it's jumpers are cheaper to customize. I'm not sure, but it's one of the most customized figures that you see out there, which is it's good to see an actual official release for it.
I'm guessing they're possibly using a Jimmy Snuka.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You're right.
Yes, more Cella. Adam Bomb pre-sale is Wednesday. So probably the day this releases. Is that right?
Hopefully, maybe the day after.
Let's just say Adam Bomb figures will be on pre-order soon.
Or now.
Or now. And last thing from Cello was that they have revealed Sabu. It will be getting a 6 to 7 inch figure, like an elite. So Zombie Sailor has signed Sabu, but Cello also have. But they're going with the
I was going to mention that because it kind of gives hope to what we were saying in previous pods about will Jeff Jarrett be available for retro WWE one, and it kind of just gives the thumbs up to that. So yeah.
As far as I know, I think it's like Zombie will pay the wrestler a set amount, and then that's it for one figure. So there's no sort of lingering contract, as far as I'm aware. And the Myers and Cardona have already said they've been paid for it, and just from the pre-order. So it seems like he's putting the pre-order up. Once pre-order ends, he's going to pay the wrestler straight away, and done deal.
It's quite weird that we've almost done the third series now of Zombie Sailor, and no one's actually seen a physical figure yet, have we?
We've seen prototypes of Series 1, I believe.
But no one's actually had one in hand. I can't think of the last series where I had 3 series announced, but not one in hand.
They're not released until December, I believe.
Oh, well, Merry Christmas. Your risk might have paid off, it might not have. Obviously, Jeff Jarrett was up for pre-order over the Comic-Con weekend as well, which, quite exciting for some people. $50 or 50 quid it would work out to get one figure shipped here, wouldn't it? Which...
Yeah, something like that. I kind of worked out, if you kind of want to avoid the import fees, 3 might be the magical number. So if you are wanting to buy one, lose one on card, and then you've got one spare to maybe flip later on, could be a decent little investment. And
if you're a big Ellen DeGeneres fan, there's a great custom chance for you there.
Yeah. So Jamie, what do you think of the figure?
I don't like it at all. I really like Jeff Jarrett. I used to be a big Jeff. The only one that I used to follow in WCW, sort of late 90s, early 2000s, was Jeff Jarrett. So a bit disappointed in how those figures come out. The head's too big for the body. It looks too happy. It looks too not like Jeff Jarrett.
I've got a feeling that this is some sort of prototype, and it's like kind of sculpted in what's the material? It's like a plaster of Paris type stuff.
Paper mache.
I know what I'm talking about in terms of materials, but I feel like once it's made in plastic, it might be a little bit more cleaner in a way, and it won't look as bad. But you just see. I haven't pre-ordered it yet, but I probably will do. I've kind of like maybe seen if Zombie might send out a little discount code on an email, because I know he did last time. So I'm kind of waiting to maybe the last day and see what happens.
I think the pre-orders have stopped now, haven't they? When do the pre-orders finish?
No, it's a 2-week pre-order. So
Oh, of course. Yeah, so Zombie Sailor, sticking with him, then we had Mr. Hughes revealed. Was he manager of Jeff Jarrett?
No. He managed. Who did he manage? I forgot now. I think he had. I think he was with Jericho at one point, and
Definitely with Jericho at some point. Obviously, it wasn't in the mid-90s WWF run. I'm trying to think. Did he accompany Shawn at one point?
might have been Triple H before China.
The only thing I remember is his match with Perfect, the King of the Ring.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've had a Mr. Hughes revealed. So that's obviously we've only had the image of Mr. Hughes announcing that has been revealed, and no sort of actual physical figure release yet. But it's quite good that he's picking up those little obscure ones, isn't he?
Yeah, speaking of obscure, they also had the reveal of Jack Tunney, former WWF president, on screen. So I mean, if you want to really go down the obscure route, that's very it's very in the weeds, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is, but it's also one that's most requested from customs. I know they've got a 3D printed head, like the main guy that prints the heads has done one. So there's loads of Jack Tunney customs out there. It was one that people were crying out for. So same with Mr. Hughes, actually. There's loads of Mr. Hughes customs out there, surprisingly. So he's definitely gone with two choices. He knows the custom market, because he's definitely going with choices where people have made quite a lot of customs. So quite clever there.
Fair play.
And then up to the Attitude Era, we've got, sort of anyway, RVD we go with next. Rob Van Dam has been announced as a Zombie Sailor toy, which I'm surprised once again that WWE haven't picked him up for an exclusive Legends deal, because obviously he's in the Hall of Fame there at the moment. Quite peculiar.
Yeah, I mean, that sort of doesn't really go without theory about, I don't know what happened there. Maybe RVD had a brief Legends deal, and then maybe he's allowed to sign with Zombie at the same time.
Yeah, RVD's got a figure coming out, hasn't he, for WWE? He's got the Tiger print one, yeah.
Coming up.
But whether he's still signed with TNA or not, because I know that he was with Impact for a number of years.
RVD isn't in it. He hasn't been Impact.
He was recently. Yeah, I think it's a few months ago now, but that he left, or that he stopped wrestling for them anyway.
All
so
right,
he was
But he's left Tommy Dreamer and Rhino there, which is nice of him. Here we got Raven as well, who's now had a figure in ECW, WWE, WCW, and TNA, and now Zombie Sailor.
Yeah, he certainly gets about. He's a good choice, really. He's quite tight, and you may see him like get revisited as Johnny Polo, because that's something that was missing from the Hasbro era as well, really, wasn't it?
It'd be good to have Johnny Polo from Cheddar. You can pair him with your Adam Bomb then, couldn't you? Or a Weapon
Bomb with Johnny Polo, to be honest, but apparently it happened.
No, according to the quiz, it was.
I didn't understand that question, Phil.
Yeah, thanks for that, Phil. Yeah, so with the news and everything. We've sort of wrapped up for everything. Anyone got anything else to mention?
Yeah, you're going to move on to AEW with was it the Walmart Cody?
Oh, that's the ones. Yeah, the Walmart Cody variants, technically. Normally the LJ and Cody comes with the blue and white tights. This one is the red and white tights, which I'm not sure why they've done this. If I'm honest, it seems a bit out of the left field.
I have an idea. It's very cheap to make. Was it just a repaint, and that's it?
You getting it?
Nope.
It's a surprise.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm not becoming. I've given up being a completist of this line because actually another thing to mention is that we've seen. I don't know if they were leaked, but it was 2 packs with Moxley and Omega and the SCU. So that Moxley and Omega just look like figures we've already had before, right? I don't think there's meant much or anything different to them.
Same with the SCU.
Seems to be going down the Jax route when they're doing the Ruthless Aggression, then they re-release them in 2 packs, and then you end up with like 6 or 7 of releases of the same figure. And as you know, as a seller, Adam, you end up with 20 million John Cena in Ruthless Aggression form trying to flog, and you can't for £1 each.
You do indeed. It's going to get a very boring game if it carries on like that.
Yeah. It's saturated, it seems, and they just keep coming and coming. There's more Series 1 come out, there's more Series 2, and at one point they were quite valuable, and now they're worth nothing.
Yeah, I saw on a website earlier, I think it was called The Whole Shebang. I think someone shared a link to it on one of the Facebook groups. They've got Penta and Phoenix on there from Series 2, and they're £20, and they're still very much in stock. So I know the value for those two has really gone down.
Not too long ago, I sold each of them for £40 each loose. So now you can't even plug them for £20.
Exactly. I think Moxley's been the only one that's really kept its value.
Not even that has now. Since they've been like more has come in, that the value of that's gone down a lot as well.
It's crazy. They should have protected him. Got him a shield. Right, any other news from you boys?
Yeah, we've seen something, I think it was on Instagram from Square Circle Toys, and it was a ringside collection which includes referees and security guards. So there's 2 referees, one's the black and white stripe and one is a classic blue. And there's a security in all black and then security in the yellow security jacket. So it's good for those with the figure photography and that sort of thing. Although referee, if they wanted to do that, they should have maybe made it a few years ago before the Danny Davis figure come out.
Yeah, definitely. I think the one thing that the smaller companies do really well seem to be targeting an audience, quite a niche audience of like the figure photography, and people like to have the full setup. So you see the pop-up crowds and the pop-up arenas and so on, as well as these little niggly bits of the security, and it just makes the sort of real factor. So I quite like these little elements to it.
It'll probably cost quite a bit, and then there'll be import fees, I imagine, so they're not going to be cheap to get over here.
I won't be buying it anyway, but yeah. I know what you mean.
You really bigged them up, then you couldn't say I'm not buying it.
If you're a fig photographer, or if you have a full setup, I'm not a fig photographer. I can barely take pictures of myself, let alone figures. Yeah, so I like the idea. The idea is good. I think Ringside did a security jacket a few years ago. Am I right in saying that?
I think it was Wrestling Superstar rather than Ringside. It was a different, like, sort of a similar to Ringside, but it wasn't Ringside.
Yeah, the full arenas are nice.
And, FTC figures.
Because they also, I think the same company do like backstage areas and stuff as well. Am I right in saying that? Or there's a similar company anyway?
I don't Are we talking about Square Circle Toys or Wrestling Superstore? Or...
Just name all of them. All of them sort of tie into one for me. There's like a backstage arenas and stuff, which are quite fun. As I said, it just adds to the setup for it.
That's Extreme Set.
Yeah, there we go. Lovely. Another one to tick off. Shout out to them guys.
Yep.
Brilliant. Are we all out of news then, boys?
Yes.
I think so.
Smashing. Right, that's all out of news. As I said, we'll be covering the Mattel San Diego Comic-Con in our Break It Down segment, so hold tight if you're in the market for that. A lot has changed since then, believe it or not. We're back in 2.
Ooh, some lovely pick me up.
Pick me up style. Now we're looking at all the recent purchases since the last episode. Adam, let's fly across to you, shall we?
Yes, you can indeed. Now, my first one is actually a surprise purchase. It was even a surprise to me, kind of. So, you know, I'm into these cups, these Kilncraft cups. So, as you can see, this one is the Big Boss Man cup that I have. So, I saw a nice and cheap one on eBay the other day, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to pick one up in case it's better than mine, in case it's a slightly nicer white without the coffee stains and stuff on. And then it came, and similar to one of the pods that we've done before, it turned out to be the giant version.
Oh, nice.
Which I didn't realize when I bought it. So I'm even happier now. And now we've recorded this pod, I can get onto the Legion of Hasbro page and I can pose the question of how many of these giant ones actually exist. Because until I got that Ultimate Warrior one a few months ago, I didn't even know they existed. And now I've got another one, which suggests it might be the whole line, but I've got no real idea. So I'm going to pose that question to the Legion of Hasbro folks.
I think that'll be a very niche line of knowledge, expert in WWF cups. Good luck to you.
Yes.
Let's go to you then, Johnny.
No comment, Jamie?
Oh, sorry, I thought I said something. I was going to say bigger boss man was going to be my joke, my input into that. But yeah, I always try and tag you in when I see the caps on Facebook and so on, because I think how many do you need now? Is it 2?
From the main smaller ones, it's the Bret Hart and the Undertaker one.
Right. So yeah, next time I'll have to remember that, because I think you tell me that every time I tag you in a cap that's a Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior one. So Bret or the Undertaker, the niche ones, but. We just try and find out, don't we? We've go on the discovery trail and try and see which ones are out there in the world. Kilncraft, remember the name. That's my input. Johnny, back to you.
Thanks, Jamie. So my first purchase of the week is one I made several months ago. It was Summit Toys, and I ordered both of the Ultimates, but I've only got half an order. So at least when they've got the stock in, they send it straight away rather than waiting to both in. And I got the Ric Flair Ultimate Edition. And I knew Adam had as well because he got it a couple of days before me. I would say this is possibly one of the better ones for Ultimate Edition in terms of like how it looks. Although mine's a bit skew away from the package, but I'm sure I can correct that. And the robe's really nice as well. And I just like the colours. It's good that they released like a more colourful version of Ric Flair rather than going down the old routes of the blue or red or black, which he's had several figures of so far.
Yeah, having one of these bodies up close, I can warm to it a little bit because obviously he's got no shirt on, so you can really see it. And as it stands, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's the posing aspect that doesn't do it for me. Anytime it's moved, it just looks a bit weird for me. I love the Woo head that comes with him. I think that's spot on. And obviously the belt is your standard Mattel belt, which maybe was a bit disappointing there. They could have made a bit more effort with the big gold. But the robe is beautiful.
Yeah, you're right with the belt. They could at least, try to get rid of the WWE logo on it, which of course,
I think they're going down that route of doing individual belts now. So
you'd hope so, but I mean, probably just to remove that little bit of WWE probably isn't worth it in terms of like overall money for tooling. So I kind of understand. It's not a big deal, I guess. But yeah, nice figure. Good open that one.
You guys can be opening.
I will be, yeah.
Not for me.
So we obviously Austin's the other one that come out with Ric Flair. So I'm guessing you got that on order as well. Still in two minds about whether I need that one or not. But the Flair looks great. I think the robe looks fantastic. As you said, Johnny, the color choice was perfect. I think as well.
Definitely.
Brilliant. Let's go across to me then. So we had the In Your House sale on Hasbro, or Legion Hasbro, last Friday. So shout out to Fred Rowley, who I picked some bits up with. My favourite bit that I picked up was the Gold Dust Slammers figure. He always seems to have these BCA figures lying around, as our Fred. I messaged him last time, so you got any more? He said no. And this popped up, so lying to me, Fred. But yeah, so I only picked this up really for the wig, because the wig didn't come with the other Gold Dust figure that I had. But all in all, it's quite a fun line, the Slammers one.
Yeah, I think any of the Jack's BCA Goldust are really bad figures. They didn't ever look really accurate in terms of what the face paint was. It was always a bit too, black. Yeah, doesn't look right, does it?
Do you know what? I nodded then because I thought you were going to go, I think all Gold Dust figures are quite good. So I nodded along then, and then you surprised me. I think it's really good, that figure. It's one of my favourite BCA ones. Any Gold Dust figure is going to pop. It's going to be toyetic. I think it's a nice one for his early 1996 type of era.
Yeah.
I have
got a different BCA. Can't quite see it.
I think I know which one you mean. I think, is it that one that you think?
Yeah.
I'm
not sorry, actually.
Yeah, because that's the signature series Gold Dust, and there's also one that came with the door and the robe and stuff. I have fond memories of this Gold Dust as a child. It used to be the jobber in my little wrestling game I used to play with the figures. So I definitely had this as a kid. It's got a little switch on its back that you do, and it flicks his arms up and down. But yeah, generally the Slammers Gold Dust is quite a good one. I'll be opening that bad boy up, and the box is yellowed, so it's quite good that I'm opening it up.
Nice one. Do you not already have a Gold Dust then?
I've got 4, but I haven't got the Slammers Gold Dust.
This is what I mean about like the AEW figures. It's very much like the Jacks, who's re-releasing the same figures over and over. Really, maybe slight sort of differences like that.
Yeah, it's got a very big difference in this one to the other Gold Dust. But I know what you're saying. We covered it last time on the Taka figure, where it's the same. They put the Slammers Taka in the 2-pack, so you now just got 2 of the same one. But you can't get Brian Christopher unless you get the Taka. So, and then they repainted Brian Christopher and released it a year later anyway. But yeah, so it's exactly the same. And who worked for Jax? It was only Jeremy Padawa, who now owns AEW for Jasmine. So the cat fits.
Are we back to me?
Back to you.
My next one is a signed figure that I picked up on eBay. Again, signed things aren't really my thing, but it was about the price of a normal figure anyway. It was about £25, I believe. And I like the figure. It's the Shield Dean Ambrose first in line figure. I don't know if you can see the signature. I don't think you can. There we go.
Oh, yeah, you can get that.
A pretty terrible signature. It's just a D and an A. But for me, this is a cracking figure. It came with the video camera that they used to do their little skits with. Beautiful US title. I think that's one of the best Mattel belts that they do. And they've got his slicked back hair, which I always think looks better on the Dean Ambrose figures than the other ones. So I'm really happy with that one. I think that'll stay in my collection for quite a while.
Fair enough. Yeah, I remember when these were first coming out. I think this is about when I started collecting. So I was quite impressed when I seen all these Elite figures and they come with all these jazzy accessories and stuff. So that brought out memories of when I first went to Smith's or Toys R Us when I started collecting. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think the Shield figures, relatively for boring outfits, they are still quite toyetic, which is quite weird. But any bundle you seem to get for a good number of years always had a Shield, one or two of them in there, didn't it?
Bill does now.
But that Ambrose figure is lovely, as you said. The US title, I think they do really, really well. And the video camera's a nice little touch. So all in all, a very good figure.
Sweet. Moving on, I've picked up a bundle on eBay. So in a way, it's a good way to get figures you want, but at a cheaper price. And in the bundle was the Sid Justice from Series 86. That's
Wow.
complete his referee shirt and the trousers. So
That's got bored quick, didn't they?
pretty much half price, I guess, from a normal lead. So happy with that price. Might just have a little play around, see what it looks like underneath.
Wow.
I think it's the looks like the darker gingery type of hair, which I'd probably prefer the other one, to be fair, but I'm not that bothered, if I'm honest. I'll probably use them as the WCW title, to be fair, because I think it looks much better, if I'm honest, rather than a referee, which you wore once.
Do you have a WCW display in your Mattel?
No, I just like sort of put them together like in a year by year basis. So if I have like a 1990 shelf, the WCW will be with the WWF together.
Yeah.
That's the way it is at the moment. I really need to rejig it because I'm running out of space, if I'm honest. So I need to think of something else to do.
Really famous referees. Treat yourself to a little display there. But so I think the Sid, I'm very surprised that's come up that early in a bundle because it's not even officially released, I didn't think, over here, is it?
It's not in Smiths or anything, so I suppose that I think they pops up on it and viewers like them, but no, it's not.
No, just the imports I think we've had so far. We haven't had the official sort of UK packaging or packaging, as Johnny says. So yeah, very surprised that they come in a bundle.
Oh, why did you have to reference my accent? Just
I was listening last week to the pod. I listened to it the morning after I uploaded, just in case I've made any mistakes with editing, which happens. I noticed, I think when you say packaging, you don't say packaging, you go packaging. And I thought it cuts out about half of the word. And I thought it was quite funny. And it just reminded me then.
didn't waste time saying words, do we?
Packaging. Should we come across to me?
Yes, please.
Yes, lovely. I won't come across the ones that are in the bubble wrap packaging. We'll go to the loose figures first. So I picked up some loosies from Dan Bassett, a friend of the podcast, who was put up some beaters on there, which always helps when you're doing the retro review, saves me paying top dollar. So we've got Animal first. I've already got Hawk for some reason. So I picked up Animal.
How's the spike?
They're not good. They're all there, though, to be fair. They're all,
It's quite difficult to find them with all the spikes, you know, so you've probably got a good deal on that.
Yeah, I can't remember if Dan actually sent me this one. I have to double check, but I did pick up 2 separate bundles, but he was in one of them. Got a Shango, Papa Shango. No skull necklace, sadly. A Macho King, who we'll be covering in a couple of weeks. Rowdy Roddy Piper. And Owen R. Shyster, whose son is recently unemployed, bless him. Ultimate Warrior, who's from Series 1, who we reviewed in the last episode. And Coco Beware, who actually my son for some reason was calling him John Cena. I'm not sure why. But he's actually one of my favourite figures when I was a kid was Coco Beware, so I was quite happy to brought back a lot of feels, that one. And
I always wanted that Coco when I was a kid. At least it was closer than John Cena.
And some guy on Legion of Hasbro bought a bundle off Clark, one of the admins. The guy didn't need the smash and said anyone who wants it just pay postage. Of course, I piped up, didn't I? So I picked up a very good condition smash. I'll probably give my other one away. Adam, do you need a smash?
No, I've got Smash, I think. No, I don't. Did I have Axe? I can't remember.
Just message me, because I've got a spare Smash now. But the piece de la resistance of the loose Hasbro's is the purple-hearted Bret Hart, which very good figure. So in the interview with Kev yesterday, this come up and discuss sort of variants and so on, which always good. But yeah, very decent condition as well.
Yep. I believe you won a raffle for that, wasn't it?
I did indeed. Yes, the whole £3 this cost me, which is £3 on my soul.
Yep. Plus all the money and raffles you didn't win.
We don't talk about those, Johnny. We only speak of the ones that we do win. And I also won a Ludwig Borger, who is a very nice figure. Never owned it as a child. Don't think I want to own it as an adult, but here we are. Ludwig
Got all
Borger.
his fingers.
Got all his fingers.
Hey.
All 10 of them.
Well, you're a lucky boy, Jamie.
I also won another giveaway today, which was not a paid entry raffle. It was a giveaway. And also we got a little bet that I will not be entering any raffles or any paid raffles until September with you boys. So yeah, that should be the last of the old giveaways for a second, I imagine. Well, yeah, that's the loose Hasbro's I picked up.
Jamie's going cold turkey on the old raffles. He's sweating a bit now.
Meat raffle. Yeah.
Are you becoming a Hasbro man then, or are you still a BCA and Hasbro?
Well, I've put the BCAs on ice for a bit, just whilst we're doing retro review, just to sort of I'm getting through as many of the cheap ones as possible. But I'm buying them so cheap that I don't mind giving them to my son to play with afterwards for some of them. He's not playing with the Borger, he's not playing with the Bret, but Cooker be wearing Warrior is fine. Smash them around.
Lovely.
Back over to you, Adam.
Me, this one will take a little bit more time. I've not been more excited about something that I've won for a long time here. I say won, bought off eBay.
Gambler.
So I bought two lots off eBay. Now, on the face of them, this is what they were. So the photo showed the program of the 1994, I think it was, World Tour. So you got your program with all the stuff inside, all your featured people, as well as the 1993 program as well. And it said £25. And I initially looked because I went to wrestling around that time, so I thought it might be the ones that I went to. Turns out that it wasn't, but you know, that's fine. And then I clicked into the photos, and my, did I get a shock. Because inside there was loads more gems. And it was £25 each for 2 T-shirts and the program. And I don't know whether you two have seen any of the old school WWF T-shirts going on eBay at the moment, but Jesus, they are ridiculously priced. We're talking some of them got ranging between £50 and £300 for a T-shirt. So I managed to get 4. So here they are. I think 2 of them really bring back memories for me. So I'll show the other 2 first. So the first one is a WWF Undertaker shirts.
Yep.
On the back, you've got the old-fashioned logo of him. I think that one's a medium, so I ain't getting in that. So for the moment, that'll be display purposes only.
Do you know the value of that one?
I don't. I haven't researched them yet. I thought I'd show them first and then have a proper look into it. I've only seen one of them go for in the hundreds, but I'll get to that one in a minute. Next one is Bret the Hitman Hart T-shirt.
Love that one.
Got his really famous logo on the back from the kind of sticker collection of the same time. Absolutely love that logo. It was always my favorite shiny to get in the stickers. That one is a large, so that one will fit me.
Not going to wear it,
and then the 2 beauties. The first one is the Ultimate Warrior T-shirt from 1991, I think that is. Might be 93, actually, this one. Oh, no, 91. That one is worth a lot of money. on eBay. I think a really greyed, tattered, broken one went for about 50 the other day. So this one's perfect condition. So that one will be worth a lot. Nothing on the back of that one. And the other one, in a very similar vein to that one, probably worth more, I would imagine, maybe not, is the Hulk Hogan one of the same kind of era. I think that one is 91 as well. So these will have been the shirts. These were the shirts that were actually on the display stands and things when the guy went, because inside the programs is actually the ticket stub as well, sellotaped inside the programs. So the guy actually went to these and then sold them for really cheap, which kind of made me sad. But I got them, which made me happy. So yeah, I haven't seen those properly on eBay for a long, long time. I reckon you're looking at between 400, 500 quid for them.
Yes, indeed. I think we talked about before when I picked up the trivia cards and stuff. And if you know what you're looking for, you can, make a lot of money on seeing these sort of things. So if you got the knowledge, you essentially have the ability to make money from these. And
Definitely.
in fact, Adam, if the ticket stub in there might be worth something as well. I think
it's proper sellotaped into the actual program, so there's no way of getting that out without destroying it.
Okay, I understand.
But yeah, if that guy had put those in the photo, in the first photo on eBay, I probably would have missed them. So it was complete about luck, and the fact that I went to wrestling at that time was the only reason I delved into it, because I thought 25 quid for a program, and then had a look. Brilliant.
Nice
For
one.
25 quid each, you paid for them.
So 50 quid in total for the two programs, a Bret Hart Spotlight magazine, and the 4 t-shirts.
Lovely stuff.
These are the ones you were sweating about for the last week.
Oh, yes.
You've done well. They're lovely. I remember I had a Bret Hart t-shirt as a kid. I must have been 5, 6 years old, so it would have been around that same sort of era, I think, it would have been released. It was in the same sort of style anyway. That was my favourite. It was my go into bed t-shirt. That was, even though I was never really a Bret Hart fan.
Loser.
I had the famous Bret Hart versus Ric Flair European Tour t-shirt where it was all glittery and sparkly. I've got a photo wearing it. It was a small, and I've got a photo wearing it when I was in my mid-20s on holiday. And I bought that when I was, 92, so I'll have been 10 when I got that t-shirt. But I don't have it anymore because the moths got to it.
Oh.
Bloody moths. You got any more, Jamie?
No, I'm all out.
Adam, anything else?
Nope, you go for it.
Right, so the last thing is I posted on the 3 Points of Articulation Facebook group, because there's no way I'm going to show everything now, but I did manage to pick up a massive auction for the complete retro collection on card, only minus the Kevin Owens from Series 4. So, yeah, pretty massive pickup. It even include the likes of the Roman Reigns, Ric Flair, Sami Zayn and stuff, which are still going for quite a lot of money. So I wasn't sure where I was going, if I was actually going to do the Mint card collection, but when something like this presents itself, I just thought, yeah, let's do it. And so I got them at a fair price, I guess, and a one which I could potentially make money on if I'm going to sell them down the line.
How much?
Knew that was coming.
I think it was about 825 with postage.
That's decent.
Something like that. I think it worked out about £20 on average. Somewhere along those lines.
Yeah, a few years down the line, and you'll get that for pretty much all of them anyway, taking out of the factory your expensive ones.
Yeah, definitely. And most of them, I think there's a handful of them that are a little bit damaged, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I know that they're quite flimsy packaging, aren't they? So it's hard to keep them mint.
Was there any indication in why he was just missing one?
No, I'm never mentioned in the listing her out. So I guess it was just never got around to getting that one.
I couldn't give up. I couldn't do that. I couldn't suddenly sell my whole collection when I was just missing that one.
You got a good point, because I remember like trying to find that Trish Stratus LGen Jax Classic for forever just to complete the base series of that, and yeah, I could never have just stopped at that point.
Yeah, unless he just kept the Owens for himself.
Well, maybe, but I doubt it. For some reason, I just don't think he had it. So anyway, we did have a comment on that, and it was from friend of the podcast, Dan Bassett, and he was wondering my thoughts behind buying it, because he wondered because he likes the thrill of the chase, and with me just buying all in one go, does that take away from it? And I guess I'll answer first, and I'll say, no, Dan, I actually don't like the thrill of the chase. I really don't like. I'd rather just buy everything in one go if I can. And it also, especially financially, it works out a lot better. So I'd rather pay less than have any sort of thrill of the chase. And as we kind of may discuss in the Mattel section that we're doing next, sometimes the chase is not fun at all. I'll leave it at that for now.
If that's a pun.
Yeah, I think I've got the same entrepreneurial head on my shoulders as you, Jono. If you get the opportunity to get it, that's what I'd do. I'm not saying the chase isn't fun, because it can be, but it can lead to me giving up on things as well. So if I had that opportunity, I'd go for it as well.
Yeah, I agree with both your points. Obviously, I think if you've got the opportunity to pick up something complete and it's something that you want to start, then why not? I do enjoy the chase, if I'm honest. That's one of the reasons why I quite enjoy the BCA figures at the moment, because a lot are quite common, whereas some of them, to find in good condition, are not that common at all, like a Warrior or a Razor or a few others. So I think trying to find those, as soon as they come up, you get a bit excited, because you're like, I'm not going to get this opportunity for a good couple of months again. So, yeah, I quite like that element of it.
And some understand what he means, because I remember when I first started collecting the elites and stuff, and I was just going by eBay auctions, and it was fun picking them up, because sometimes you got them at a decent price, even like the Legend series, which were originally out, maybe got them around 20 quid, 25 quid. So yeah, I think it was fun at first in terms of that, because I guess they were available at quite decent prices. But at the moment, I think if you're going to start doing that now, you're looking at paying quite a lot, whether it's Hasbro or even the older Mattel Elites.
Yeah, definitely. I think one thing to note is that there's not much of a chase with the retros, because a lot of each figure are readily available anyway. If you want to get a Roman Reigns mock, then you pretty much could find one. So it's not like you'd struggle to get one. Yeah, you just have to pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, you can get anything available if you're going to pay the big bucks for it. But I think what you mean is that you need to find the right opportunity to buy at the right price. And that's
exactly it, yeah.
I think everyone's got their head screwed on as well. Like, you're not going to see a Ric Flair MOC retro figure for cheap. You're just not going to do it. One will come up probably a year on eBay, so you're not going to find it. So I kind of see Jamie's point a little bit in that respect.
I'm cheap, so don't take my word for it.
Yeah. Thanks for the question, Dan. We may open up the Q&A at some point again, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone's got any questions that they want, just whack them on any comment. If we upload something, just pop a little comment on there. If you got any questions, we're happy to answer them on the pod. We won't make a segment out of it, will we? All right, anything else, boys?
Nope.
Lovely. We can move on to the break it down segment in a second. Then we'll be covering San Diego Comic-Con, and hopefully pickups that we'll be having over the next year will be sponsored by this Comic-Con. We'll see you in 2.
Break it down.
Comic-Con happened last week, so we're going to take this unique time to break down the whole reveals that we had over the Comic-Con weekend. So, boys, I'm guessing you watched the video live reveals for this. Johnny, it's coming to you.
Yeah, I watched the video with Bill and Steve and Adam Cole and Dominic Mysterio. It's quite I guess it was an interesting little video to watch.
Not my bag. I'll see the pictures afterwards.
That's good. Good thing we're covering it then. Right, so yeah, let's crack on straight with it then, boys. We had, we go through each of the series as they are in their full glory. So Series 88, we've had some of the reveals for Series 88. Elite 88, we had, we've seen Kushida before. We've seen Roman Reigns before. We had a Rey Mysterio being released, Riddle, MVP, and Trish, who is the Chase. Attitude Era Trish as well, might I add. And the Zodiac is the exclusive for that series. Start with the Riddle for the series, should we, boys? Have you guys seen the images? Is it too soon for another Matt Riddle Elite?
No, it's definitely not too soon. He's a character that's in demand. I've just, sold one for about, double what the costs in the shop. So there's definitely a demand there. It's the right time to release another one, certainly.
Yeah, it's very different to his other one, because his other one was his kind of debut, almost NXT type of gimmick, his white jacket. This one has got a blue Bro Army t-shirt type of thing. I believe it's got a hat, black sandals instead of white. Facial wise, I don't know. I mean, I know we only see kind of an image of it, but it definitely must look better than it looks in that image, because he just looks like a thug or something in that image.
Yeah, it's a very strange looking one for the Matt Riddle. I think the t-shirt's quite a good look. All I could think is the previous one that we had said Matt Riddle, and obviously had a name change just to Riddle. So maybe that's one of the reasons for it, whether the left hand is talking to the right hand in this scenario.
Maybe. What about that Trish then? I think maybe should have just went all black, I think, for the normal version. And you would think this was going to come with a soft goods jacket. She usually wore like a trench coat to the ring. I think the chase is shocking though, because they've already released it. It was released in the basic line when women figures were pretty much elite. So at least I don't have to get it.
I think the standard one's really good. It's one that I've been crying out for, truth be told. It's an Attitude Era Trish. This is a sort of TNA Trish, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm really happy that they've released that. The Mania, is it Mania 18? Trish, the other one, Canada. Which, yeah, it's great, but as you said, we've already had the Canada release in a basic form. So
again, on this one, I hope the face is a lot better than this render, because it definitely does not look like Trish Stratus.
Horrenda.
Right. Anything else stand out from the series? We can't really talk about one of them.
The Mysterio with the eye patch.
Yeah, it was kind of like a remake of a WCW type of era, wasn't it? So, yeah, it's just what it is. I'm not fussed with the new Mysterios at all.
We've talked about Kushida as well before, and it's a beautiful toyetic figure, but I don't think he uses that image anymore. So unless you're a big Kushida fan or NXT fan, it's probably a bit in the past now.
It's hard to be a Kushida fan when they buried him around that sort of time, wasn't it? The Zodiac was a nice surprise.
Was it?
Yes. I think it was a cracking choice for the collector's edition, because it's one of those figures that it's just really toyetic, and I think anything Dungeon of Doom really, it's just a winner.
I love Dungeon of Doom, but it's another cheap way. I mean, Brutus Ed is obviously really cheap to get a figure of. He mustn't demand any royalties. I could have done with some different people, but if they're going to do it, at least it wasn't another beefcake. Gotta be thankful for that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm happy with seeing that.
I can't wait for a Booty Man Elite to come out next. We've had an Adam Cole released as well with the matches the Undisputed Era in his standard and his camouflage tights. I'm just trying to see where we're placing. What's that, sorry?
I think you're getting ahead of yourself. I think that's in Elite 93 or something. It's getting released. So if we're going to go in,
Elite 89 then. So we've got Bobby Lashley, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio matching his father's gear from the previous series, Sergeant Slaughter from the SummerSlam, also that 91 reign, Drew McIntyre, Nia Jax, who is the Chase, and the Walmart exclusive of the Goon. Anything stand out for you guys there, Adam?
The Goon is another one that's highly customized. It's not one that I generally would pick or want myself. It's a very niche market of people, but it is definitely highly customized. The Sergeant Slaughter one is from the era that I would collect. We've spoken on a previous pod about I'm not a massive Slaughter fan. But you know, it is what it is, and if you like that era and you want your champions and things like that, it's a good one to get. Dominic Mysterio's not that bad. I mean, we'll go on to a different Dominic Mysterio a bit down the line that I'll shout about, but it's not that bad. Yeah, it's an all right line.
Yeah, I'm going to go off a bit on the Goon situation, because why are Mattel making a figure of the Goon? Bill Owen, I believe, is his real name. So WWE have actively signed this guy to a Legends deal, meaning Mattel can make the figures. So they go out and sign this guy who's maybe in the Federation for 6 months tops, but they can't go and get Hercules, or they can't go and get Haku or the Barbarian. These guys were in the WWF for ages, and I think it's very strange. I'll definitely get it, but it's just like, it's so off the grid that it makes you kind of question Mattel or WWE being honest about how they or can they do certain legends. It's just a strange choice, because it's not as if Bill Irwin had any other good gimmicks. Like you say with the Zodiac, they've already signed Brutus Beefcake to a deal. So he's there already. So they haven't went and specifically signed for the Zodiac.
What year was the Goon?
96, 95.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're going to speak about it down the line, but it could be an initiative from WWF to be going into the new generation guys more, maybe, because that's where a lot of the collectors are reaching age-wise now. So that could be an explanation.
I think I heard that Steve from Mattel said the new generation figures are selling well. So I mean, there is that there. It's just, like you said, it's a strange one to actively go out and sign them.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I think one of the main guys from Mattel, his favorite era is the new generation era. So I know that there's I've done a bit of research into it, and that's probably why more characters like this will be popping up. I'm quite for it, truth be told. I think it's going to appeal to a few markets on there. It's going to look toyetic. If someone's an NHL fan, it's going to catch their eye, certainly comes with the hockey stick and the hockey jersey as well, which is soft goods. So I'm all for it. It's quite a unique item, and I quite like it.
Yeah, I don't want to confuse it. See, I'm not all for it, because I am, but I just thought there was better options to explore.
Oh, definitely is.
Just comment quickly on the Sergeant Slaughter, and we've already got a really good basic of this figure, but I can see why they've done an elite. The only problem is that we've actually just recently seen the Colonel Mustafa shirt, and you imagine this is going to have the very same one, and both are very poor, unfortunately.
It's a shame. We've seen obviously the AE6 figures come out, but we haven't seen much of the Colonel Mustafa as of yet for those, we've seen a few images and so on, but not as readily available as some of the other ones.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of the collector's editions via Smiths over here, but we heard nothing on this one, I believe, have we?
No, strange. Let's wait and see on those ones. Notable Nia Jax is the chase for this series, which, it's a very strange one. You go from Trish Stratus to Nia Jax. One thing I'll point out from this one, Dominic Mysterio matches his father's outfit, which is quite good. Bobby Lashley looks really ripped. Damian Priest has a basic already coming out, and now add an elite to that one as well.
Oh yeah,
The elite looks better.
Yeah, I did actually see the Damian Priest. I think I can't remember who it was, but I seen a video. I think it was on Ringside's feed, and it looks a fantastic figure. To be fair,
So that should be a good seller as well, because all the fans who would have picked up from the Bad Bunny stuff as well. Elite 90. So we've got the Big Boss Man in the blue attire we already had released already. A few minor differences. Bronson Reed, which looks fantastic. Mustafa Ali, Randy Orton, Reckoning, Jey Uso. Reckoning is me, obviously. And the Target exclusive is Chief J Strongbow. Start again with the exclusive. Johnny, Chief J Strongbow, one for you.
oh yeah, definitely. Love to see these characters from the 80s or even the 70s. Maybe as a case of Strongbow. So the further back in time, the character is a good one for me, and the fact they had a classic superstar as well kind of lends to that credibility.
Yeah, from my era as well. He was in kind of 1985-ish. I think it was WWF 1985, and then he spent a bit of time in NWA after that. So definitely one that I'll be getting. He's quite from his older look as well. So yeah, perfect for me.
I'm not sure he was in the NWA because he was kind of like a WWF version to NWA's Wahoo McDaniel. So
you know what, you're right. I am thinking of Wahoo, but he definitely was in WWF in 1985.
yeah, he was. He was an agent after that point, so he was like backstage, but he also did like little, like guest appearances, or if they were short on a house show, he'd come out and wrestle. But I think he was really old at that point, to be fair. So maybe had his heyday in the late 70s, I guess.
Multiple heads with that one as well.
Yeah, I wasn't sure was that. So he's got his head, and then there's a head with the headdress attached, or is the headdress separate, or what?
All I could think is maybe they only put the head separately.
It kind of looks like that, like the second head has the accessory attached to it, which is a strange.
Yeah, all I can think is that they've used the second head just to display what it would look like, so you didn't just think it was a random thing. But strange that the actual figure itself was painted, but the head was not painted. It had the head, so very strange. Last one, Joey. Big Boss Man being a re-release essentially from a previous network Spotlight Boss Man.
Third release, may I add? So they released the first in Elite 16, maybe somewhere around Elite 14, and then they released it as I'm getting them mixed up.
There's network Spotlight after that.
Yeah. Now this is the third one, and the only difference is a hat. I suppose it'd probably upgrade the head. You'd think.
I was going to say the head's definitely different because he's doing a proper smirk smile on the head. Yeah. Which we've not had before, which for me is needed for face Big Boss Man. And the hat just rounds it off for me, so definitely one that I'll be getting.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I shall be getting it. Rumour is he is also the chase in that series, so what could they do different there?
Nothing springs to mind for a chase Big Boss Man that we haven't had.
Just the star above his uniform.
A big bubba.
We've only seen like repaints of figures to be chasers. They've never been like completely different. So like you couldn't really make the Big Boss Man and say a Big Bubba Rogers or a Big Bubba from NWO because it just wouldn't be the same mold all in one. So
no, it's sort of the same with it's different to what they do with Funko. With Funko, they completely change the figure, and the Razor Ramon chase is Scott Hall, and it says Scott Hall on the box. So it's not going to be like that. But I don't know where they can go with Boss Man. We haven't had already. We've had the Attitude Era Boss Man. We've had this sort of early on, maybe late 80s Boss Man, heel again. But
I think there was talk of maybe a Guardian Angel or something like that, because it could be the same or similar. Maybe I think there was brief time where he wore an all black outfit in WCW. So he had like the black trousers and a black shirt instead of a blue shirt. So maybe it could be that.
Maybe we'll get Big Show's father's funeral boss man with a coffin. I mean, from the Armageddon storyline. Never know. And Reckoning, who's Mia Yim, whose gimmick's already gone. First elite figure for her. She had a basic already as Mia Yim. She's already dropped the name Reckoning, which I haven't seen on TV for a while. Very strange.
You haven't seen or anything to do with her on TV for half a year?
No, months, yeah. Very strange. But Mustafa Ali's also got one, and Jey Uso has got the right-hand man gimmick.
Looks good. That'll be a decent seller, you'd think, actually.
Easy one to make as well, because basically it's the same as the white Usos one that was released, apart from a different head. The trousers look very similar.
Forgot that was released, yeah.
Yeah, very good figures, those, actually. They're quite toyetic. Elite 91 has also been revealed with some of the images on there. We haven't had the exclusive revealed for that one yet, but we've got Bianca Belair, who was on the Elite show, Hulk Hogan, Rob Van Dam, who's the Chase, Austin Theory, Sami Zayn, and Kevin Owens. So RVD was the sort of attitude, I think it was the Invasion pay-per-view RVD attire, I'm pretty sure we saw on there. My favourite RVD, truth be told, so we're definitely picking that one up.
Yeah, it's this is the RVD that Pitt have wanted for a long time. I think it's a tiger sort of outfit, and I believe he's having the Chase on the series as well. So be interesting to see what other design they come up with. And he's absolutely perfect to choose as the Chase as well.
Yeah, if you want a Chase, you want somebody who you can just go off on the outfits with. Rob Van Dam's perfect. Jack's actually released this one as well. The tiger print one, I believe it's going to be exactly the same. Bianca Belair is going to be a good one. Didn't seem very readily available her last Elite. So this one might get a bit more, and she always wears outfits which people are going to buy. The Hogan one disappointed me. The face is weird. It's like bulging eyes and a weird grin, and it's just weird.
I wouldn't worry about these. I think we've talked about before when we shouldn't really sort of judge a figure on its render. Yeah, just you can't really judge a face that way. But I think it's a positive sign that they're releasing this in the normal Elite series. So instead of a Legend series or whatever that you can't get over here.
And the Bianca Belair one was from the sort of cancelled Elite 81 or Elite 82 with the Street Profits. So we probably won't see it as readily available over here, I thought. So that's definitely one for the future. And then Elite 92, we've only had 2 reveals from there. We've had Burnt Fiend, who is already out of date, and the Adam Cole, who is the Chase as well. So you get the green Adam Cole and then the camouflage one to match his compadres from the Undisputed Era.
Well, Bray Wyatt, not just out of date, but out of a job. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one didn't actually make it to the stores. And Adam Cole, fine, I guess, the green attire, but everyone's going to be wanting that Chase because it completes the camo version of the Undisputed Era.
Yeah, you've got to see Adam Cole turn into the next kind of AJ Styles, Seth Rollins as far as figures go. There's just going to be loads of them on the secondary market after a while. The Fiend one's interesting. It was actually reported on a non-figure website earlier that that's definitely in doubt now, whether that will come out or not, which isn't a good sign to hear that straight away on a website that doesn't specify with figures. But it is one that everyone's wanted for ages. When the last Wyatt came out, everyone was kicking off going, that's not the one we wanted. We wanted the burnt one, the burnt Fiend. And now everyone could be disappointed, which is disappointing.
There's a lot of disappointment there, isn't there? I think Mattel could play it really, really well if they, because obviously we had the O'Reilly and the Cole at the Fish, and the Chasers were as readily available as the normals with those, it seemed. I think if they really, really short pack the Adam Cole for this, they'd play it absolutely perfectly because the Chase would then essentially be on for it, which I think would be a very good market employ for him.
I didn't think I understood a word you just said there.
So you got Bobby Fish, and you.
I'll say it again. I know you knew what you meant, but what I'm saying is you wanting this short packed, but everyone's going to want the camo version, so I don't think it makes sense to do that.
Yeah, it doesn't, because then people won't pay as much. You won't sell as many.
Well, the online orders will be up.
Let's move on.
You wouldn't take the risk with a figure like that.
I don't know. I think they both play it well. Anyway, Elite 92 only had 2 released from that. Karen Cross in his sort of Celtic, it was a lovely little skirt, and Raquel Gonzalez. I know they're really high up on Raquel Gonzalez, and I'm quite surprised this long to get a figure out. But yeah, only 2 revealed for Elite 92.
Yeah, well,
I haven't seen the Gonzalez, so can anyone fill me in on how good that is?
It's not painted.
rear render, wasn't it? Couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize it at first.
So it's just a public service announcement on them. And then moving to Legends line, shall we?
Yep.
So Legends Series 13, we've had Bob Orton, Hurricane, Triple H in his DX attire, and Jake Roberts, who once again is the Chase. Johnny, Bob Orton, what's your view on Cowboy?
Disappointed that released the same color as the basic that was released, which is actually pretty decent. And also disappointed that released the Hurricane, which was a decent basic. Also disappointed that they released Triple H in the series?
Triple H, yeah.
Also released Triple H, which had an exact same basic, the same style. Jake Roberts was both that the Chase and the normal was a good choice, but we've only just had him, so it seems a bit soon after.
I concur with all of your points. I have nothing else to add. It's a strange series to think of.
Yes, agreed. Let's move on to the Ringside Collectibles exclusive, shall we? Because that's a very disappointing series. The last 3, I think, have been, apart from Bigelow, actually Series 11 was quite good, the whole Bigelow Macho and Stud, but 12 and 13 have both been a bit pants. Tommaso Ciampa is the Ringside Collectibles exclusive, coming with Mask. Either you got, it's not really your sort of era, Johnny, is it? But as a figure, do you like the look of it?
I don't even remember seeing Tommaso Ciampa wear a mask, so it means nothing to me. Nothing.
Yeah, it means nothing to me as well, but I have actually seen some hype about it on the groups, with people wanting it and it being up for pre-orders on shops quite quickly. So there is quite a lot of hype about Ciampa. He does a nice little figure, does Ciampa. He's always in demand.
Yeah, but it's going to turn into that old Adam Cole situation. They're all in demand at first until they make 50 million of the figures.
I don't think Ciampa's quite as vanilla.
Fair enough.
Then we've got the Survivor Series of Hogan, Hart, Lee, and Bailey, or Keith Lee and Bailey. We've covered these in a previous episode, but also we've seen updated pictures of them, which is always quite good to see. Any points before I move on? Any surprises from those?
Hogan was excellent. They've really done that well. I'm not bothered about Keith Lee or Bailey. And Bret Hart, everyone is rubbishing the figure. I don't think it's as bad as people are making out. At least they've tried something different. Yeah. And the point stands where they've done the tights wrong. They've put the logos too far at the front. Need to correct that.
I think everyone's rubbishing the figure just because of the images of the face. I think that's the reason why Mattel just can't do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes.
Not getting Brett wrong.
The Rumble series, Big E, Dakota Kai, Earthquake, Yokozuna with Build-A-Figure, Jimmy Hart. For me, standout, I think Earthquake. Really like that figure, sort of the Earthquake I remember from yesteryear. So yeah, really happy that they've released that one.
Yeah, that's a good version of Earthquake to release. Something quite simple, to be honest, but also quite needed. It's quite a famous feud with Hogan at the time. Was it a Canadian Earthquake,
Yeah.
or was it?
Yeah.
We're talking 89 on that one, or 99.
I think it's 90, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 90.
Yeah.
Not 91. Yeah. Good shout on that. And the better shout is that they've done the build a figure, and probably one of the better build a figures released so far in Jimmy Hart. That was great. The Yokozuna is a bit of a cop out, a bit of a re-release, which is a shame. And Big E looked good. And who was the other one?
Dakota Kai.
Yeah, don't care.
As long as they do a better face on her than the basic, because that was terrible. Earthquake for me is, do you think there's hope for a Dino Bravo there?
I hope so, but I don't think so. Not at all. I think there's too much shadiness that comes with the Dino Bravo name, unfortunately, for Mattel and or WWE to market.
Yeah.
One thing I like about the Earthquake figure is the knees. I think the knees look quite good. Look a lot like Earthquake's knees. Not like my knees, but yeah, they're not like standard elite knees. Which
Do you know what? They're not. And you've just highlighted it, and I'm looking at a picture there, and it's made me think those are awful knees.
right.
So I completely disagree. They look like a burger.
Look at a picture of Earthquake's knees next time you see it.
I'll have to check that one out.
Looks like Homer Simpson's mouth. Have you?
That's weird.
Are they the same as the previous Earthquakes or not?
Well, there we are.
Oh, yeah. Looks a bit strange in the render, doesn't it?
Yeah. Good Earthquake. At least I haven't got to insert a picture on there now. The WrestleMania series is up next. So we've only actually seen the AJ Styles revealed and the Build-A-Figure, but in it you get AJ Styles, Bret Hart, HBK, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and the Build-A-Figure WrestleMania 3, Vince McMahon.
Yeah, another solid offering from the Build-A-Figure line in Vince. I heard that they've corrected the height from the late 70, I believe, and there was way too tall, so they've corrected the height at least than that. Nice little thing. They've got a spare hand that does WrestleMania 3. That's quite nice. Bret Hart rumored to be WrestleMania 4, so he's got like a black singlet over his pink tights. So you'd imagine he's going to come with that huge trophy, which he destroyed when Bad News Brown won the Battle Royal. So that's really has to happen. Possibly. You destroyed my chain of thought there. No,
For me, it's a very good Build-A-Figure, but it's a bad series for it to come in because I don't want any of the four, but I do want the Build-A-Figure. So
maybe they finally get Brett right. Fingers crossed.
But if it's anything like the Paul Ellering one from this year, I think we should be fine in getting the Build-A-Figure. People will just buy the whole sets just for the Build-A-Figure and try and flog it. So I think it should be okay.
To be fair, like I bought Goldberg from the last WrestleMania series, and I think I sold the figure for 20 quid, and I sold the belt for like 18 or something.
Yeah, I did as well. I did as well. Not listed on here is the Build-A-Figure Dominic Mysterio, which I don't know if it's going to be in the SummerSlam line. We don't normally get a Build-A-Figure in the SummerSlam line, so I'm not sure where it's going to slot in. But
it is SummerSlam line, so I don't know if they revealed any figures of that, but Dominic will be the Build-A-Figure for the SummerSlam line. Every pay-per-view line is getting a Build-A-Figure from now on.
does this figure appeal to you two in any way, shape, or form?
No, it is awful. I really dislike it, and I think it's a bit creepy.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it'd be good for customizers. Is all I'm
And
saying.
I'm even collecting like the 2005 era, I guess, of flashbacks, but I've got no interest in having this one.
I know it was a storyline, and everyone loves Eddie and stuff like that, but it's weird. It's a weird, weird figure.
You don't want a child wrestling figure. You just don't. It's strange.
No. Very weird. And you got the Hollywood. Speaking of weird, the WWE Hollywood Elite Series. So Series 1 we discussed in the last episode, so we won't go too much into it. The Rock, Piper, Cena on there. So Piper from They Live, Cena from Fast and Furious 28, whatever it is, and The Rock from Hobbs and Shaw. And then Series 2, we've got The Rock again from Scorpion King, Roman Reigns from Hobbs and Shaw, and Andre the Giant from the $6 Million Man. Why?
They also must only allow one decent figure per wave, because I thought the Roddy Piper was pretty good and a pretty iconic film, and I thought the Scorpion King was pretty good and also quite an iconic film. But the other two choices are weird on both, especially Hobbs and Shaw. I mean, has anyone even seen that?
No, and it wouldn't surprise me if WWE went full hog with this and they had Cena and Vin Diesel versus Reigns and The Rock or something stupid.
I heard The Rock and Vin Diesel don't get on. Is that true, or is it someone else? Yeah, it is that.
I've heard that as well, yeah.
Well,
as far as these figures, I don't care. Let's move on.
not even the Andres are better. Right, so let's, before we go on to the big news, let's touch back on the Ultimate Ring that we spoke about in the last episode. The different waves on there. You've got Doink if it reaches 7,000, and you've also got the ring skirt if it gets to 8,000. We'll be lucky at this point if it gets to 2,000 looking at it. But it's been a lot of people poo-pooing this idea away. I think it will get there, and I think it's a good idea, but it's very strange. Johnny, have you on the Ultimate Ring anything?
I haven't backed it yet. I think it's only worth it if it gets to the 8,000 mark with the ring skirts and the Doink. But I still think they're all bad choices. The Diesel doesn't work. They should have had Brett instead of Diesel. And Doink, I guess, is fine. It's a good figure, so I can see why that's appealing. And the skirt should just come with the base package, I think, and maybe added another figure as the third incentive.
Yeah, it was a strange choice, that, because the first thing that I spoke about with people is, why would anybody care if it gets to 8,000? Apart from if you are into fig photography and into your arenas, which is a very small niche of people, the ring skirts doesn't have any appeal to me. The Doink figure's really good. Really like the Doink figure. But for me, that should have been the one that you aimed for rather than the ring skirts. I don't get that one.
We're interested, in fact. Obviously, they value the ring skirts at an extra $250,000 because obviously there's 1,000 between 7,000 and 8,000 and $250 each. Weird.
Right. Yeah, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, very strange. But
as I said, I only think it's worth it if you get everything. And even then, it's a bit of a push with bonuses and stuff on top. But that stage is pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they've changed it now, so you haven't got to pay until after it's finished, because they want people to commit to it and say they're going to do it, get it over the 8,000 mark, and then go, actually, it's probably worth it, and then buy it.
Yeah, I kind of hope that's the case, and that even if people are just kind of saying, well, I'll back it, but I might not pay when it comes to the time. Just
I'll buy 100. And yeah, finally, we move on to the retros. We've had the news for the retros. So it's WrestleMania 1 themed, everyone apart from Hogan for some reason. So we got Roddy Piper with a movable kilt, Bob Orton again, Mean Gene, Mr. T with his new sort of whatever that is, to America. sort of movement on there. But WrestleMania 1 with a lovely little bit of packaging that it comes with as well. What's your thoughts on this one, Johnny? Are you going to continue the collection with this?
Yep, definitely continuing the collection. Hopefully it'll be easy to get because we know how it's gone with Sergeant Slaughter and it was gone in 2 minutes on Mattel Creations. And that's the way they're selling these exclusively on there. You can only buy as a pack of 4, I believe. You can't pick and choose which ones you want, which is fine by me. I'm a bit of completist on the retros, so I'm fine with that. And I think they're good enough choices for the line, to be honest. Bit of Cowboy Bob, why not?
It's just all a ploy to give Cowboy Bob as much money as humanly possible, having these in 4-pack. Do you think Hogan was kind of brought back in maybe too late for this pack, back into the fold?
Probably not, but maybe they're going to do series 12 to be WrestleMania 2 themed. Then you get a WrestleMania 3 with the next one, and maybe they're waiting for that for Hogan. That's me.
Was Hogan in any different attire in 1 and 2? Because that would be annoying if he was.
I don't think so.
You only had like different T-shirts or headgear or anything like that. So he wore the yellow trunks and the red and yellow in the first 9 WrestleManias, really. I guess you could say. So you could go in anywhere really.
Yeah.
Speaking of Hogan, on the WWE Superstars, a new line that they've released, sort of bootleg-looking figures. We've got an NWO Hogan on there, a honky-tonk man with guitar, Ric Flair with robe and sunglasses, and recently released Bray Wyatt with his Mad Hatter outfit on. We've only just seen a few pictures of these, so don't talk on too much, but thoughts, Johnny?
I get what they're doing. They're going to the Remco style of figures, aren't they? So I can see why they're doing it. The execution, I'm not sure. Flair with sunglasses, I don't understand. Honky Tonk Man looks fine, I guess. And Hogan's probably should have been the red and yellow to start off with, I would think. But it does look good in the Hollywood colours. And if there's any good that can come out of the Bray Wyatt fire, is that this figure never sees the light of day because it is bloody awful. I don't even understand when or where he's even worn it, or the choice of using this to sell this line in his first series. Really bizarre choice, that one.
Yeah, these ones are definitely not for me. They're not my cup of tea at all. They are what they are. They look cheap.
Yeah,
that's it.
Move on to the Ultimates then, shall we?
Yeah.
So the Ultimate figures that we've had, we've had the Kane and Taker revealed recently. Kane comes with his cape and a little voice box, which mismatch of errors, but it's quite nice to have. And Undertaker comes also with a cape, sort of a late 90s Taker for me. I've pre-ordered both of them. I need to remember pre-ordered anything, but for you guys, Adam, what's your view on these?
Yeah, I mean, out of a very disappointing San Diego Comic-Con, these were the standouts by a long way. The Kane figure looks proper good. As far as the cape, did he wear that in a dark match or actually on any shows?
Yes, he well, we've worded that funny, so I can't say.
Last 2 questions there.
He wore it in a dark match, but never on TV. So yeah, it's a strange one. I think they just wanted to find something extra to put in to the package, really. But otherwise, the figure looks good.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that it was Kane the Undertaker, wasn't he, at that point?
No,
Undertaker was called Kane the Undertaker.
Oh, I've got completely muddled up there.
in the Undertaker's first match on Superstars, I believe it was called Kane the Undertaker. There you go.
Yeah,
The size of that ham hock. Yeah, Undertaker wise looks quite good. I think they could have gone many directions with this. I'm quite glad they went for this sort of ministry Taker.
I don't think it's ministry. It's more of a 98 SummerSlam 98 type of era. So just before ministry, and I think it's quite needed because the they haven't done an Elite in 1998 Undertaker yet. So I think it's the only area they haven't really covered. The torso looks a bit weird, though. It looks a bit huge, and the arms as well. So maybe
I've not seen that. I've only seen the one with just his cape on.
Yeah, maybe they'll fix that. And apparently the heads are modeled after the, like 2006 Undertaker. So it's a bit.
A mishmash at Mattel, never. We also saw an unpainted render of the Alexa Bliss Ultimate from Series 12.
Can't comment.
No comment really on that one. And another Ultimate, which is like a new series. Can't see exactly what it's called, but Batista we had. I thought this was a cracking looking figure.
Good choice for an Ultimate line. People are digging Batista. I think he's done himself proud, to be honest, in his time outside of wrestling, and he just seems like a total nice guy and stuff in all of his interviews. So I'm pleased for him, and I'm happy with his success as well. So good on him.
Yeah, the figure looks good. Comes with the contracts when you didn't know which title he was going to go for, I believe. The animal shirt, which was his most iconic shirt, in my opinion, outside of Evolution. And yeah, a load of heads. And the figure itself is quite colour-wise toyetic, the red and the white. Nice.
You sort of hope that they're going to release a Randy Orton Ultimate soon.
Oh yeah, it's definitely coming.
You'd hope so. It'd have to be, surely. And we also saw the images of the Ultimate Warrior fan takeover in his sort of orange trunks. Mania 6?
Mania 6 for the third release.
Yep, lovely. It's always good. They had the Lost Legends one and the Legends one, didn't they? And now they've had this one.
I think these two choices really fit the more beefy Ultimate torso. Whereas as opposed to the Jeff Hardy that's just come out that doesn't. So that's why these two, I think, look good.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I would prefer they did a different Warrior, but I think I made feelings clear on a very early episode of this.
We get the Yellow IC title.
Oh, I got it with the Royal Rumble Elite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well, let's forget about that figure then, shall we?
Yeah.
Johnny's poo-pooed it, so that's that ruined before it's come out. One thing I will note on the whole thing before we draw the Comic-Con to a close. Also, boys, it's been a year since we started doing this, didn't we? Technically, because we started, the first time we ever recorded was Comic-Con 2020. Remember rightly. Never released it, but first time we ever discussed it was that. So happy year.
Kind of a year, I guess you could say that, but yeah, we never released it. We just did a bit of a practice, what turned out to be a practice. I think we were meant to release it, but I don't think it was any good, was it?
It was all right. It was about 4 hours long. But,
hey, we're getting there again.
Yeah. But one thing we'll add just to make it 4 hours and 1 minute long. The Bob Orton Elite from the Legends line, the cast was on the wrong hand of the render, so they've now switched that and it's now been corrected.
Is that for the retro, you mean?
I think it was for the Elite, the Legends.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
I'm pretty sure it was that. One of the figures anyway. But what a boring way to end the Break It Down segment. I just forgot to mention it during that.
Thanks for that, Jamie.
So, all right, well, should we move on to the retro review, that boy, shall we? Now Comic-Con's in the bag.
Let's do it.
All the best. Retro review time now, and with the help of some of you guys over at the Legion of Hasbro Facebook page, we've been scoring all the Hasbro figures. Johnny, let's fire across to you for some updates and a look ahead.
Yeah, I suppose the update is that we've finished Series 1, and the table looks like this. At the top, we've got Hulk Hogan from Series 1, that iconic one, and also the iconic Macho Man at second place. And in third and fourth, battling out, we've got Axe and Smash. What do you think's top out of those two?
I'd say Smash, but
Axe.
It is Smash. Smash defeats Axe on this occasion. Axe famously defeated Smash in a Legends review. So yeah, and anchoring the bottom of the table is Brutus Beefcake. Nobody likes that. But some kind scores from us seen Ravish and Rick Rude above him. So it could have been worse if it was just the Legion of Hasbro scoring that one. So let's move on to Series 2, and we're going to sort of incorporate the tag teams into this as we discussed last week. So we'll start off with Butch from the Bushwhackers, and there he is. And I'm guessing all of you have got this one because I don't think there's any collector that doesn't have a Bushwhackers.
they're silly if they don't, because I think these are the most readily available. These and the Rockers are the most readily available figures.
Yeah, I would say so.
So let's have a look at the Legion of Hasbro. So let's have a look at Robert Mitchell, who comments on pretty much all of them. So fair play to him. He's given it a 6.5, and he said, before this came up, I thought I would give the Whackers a terribly low score. On reflection, though, is Butch really that bad a figure? Good likeness, and when you were a kid, actions were great fun. Not bad, but not great. Thumbs up.
I think his description sums it up quite well because I was coming into it thinking the same, but his score didn't quite match his description. I think he's a little bit better than a 6.5, so I'll maybe go at the high sixes at a 6.9.
Yeah, I'm in complete agreement. I think the scores-wise is giving it a little bit too low. I'm a little bit higher than you at a 7.2, only because I still love this figure as a kid, and I also used to like the hand movement for a battering ram, which I quite like.
As a kid, I used to hate this figure. I actually had multiple Lukes, so I actually used 2 Lukes as the Bushwhackers when I used to play with it because I just didn't like this figure. I don't know why. Looking at it as an adult, the face is decent. It's all right. I think the arm's weird. Try and get your arm how his right arm looks. It's quite difficult to actually get your arm in that position with your hand going the kind of opposite way. So it's a weird looking model for me. I think score wise, I'll give it a 6.
A 6.
Yes.
Well, the Legion Hasbro scored it in general a lot higher than us. It's 7.42 from Legion Hasbro.
And I'll read out another one which is roughly in that, well, a bit higher actually, from Knee Guys, who says, for me, Hasbro should a true reflective of the attire and moves, jump in for Warrior, for example, thumbs down. Therefore, this Butch figure ticks all the boxes for me. Great outfit and solid move from which everyone remembers for them, for a solid 8.5 from me. I should learn to read before I read these out.
Yeah, never mind about the reading, but thanks for the review. And you're right, it does make the perfect sort of action for Luke. Right, we'll move on to Demolition Crush. So we've talked about Axe and Smash, and now it's time for Crush.
Does
the helmet?
I have got this one, but I've left it in the loft. I got it for free from Clark, so sorry, Clark, but there's your shout out. You can have that.
Who was it? Jamie? No, just me. Right, so I think it's on par with the other members' Demolition. The face paint's pretty accurate. I just don't know about the base of the face. Doesn't seem quite right. But as we commented before, the attire is brilliant. It's got so much detail, and it's sculpted. So can't fault that at all. And the action's always good when it's one of these. So it's probably the best action out of all the Demolitions for me. And of course, the little bonus of the helmet helps as well. So, based on that, I'm trying to see what my scores for Axe and Smash were. So I did 8.7 for Axe and 8.8 for Smash. And I think the helmet just puts this one on par with Smash for me. So I'm going to go 8.8.
I kind of agree with all your points there. I will clarify that the action of it is great to play with, but I don't think it's as indicative of the character as the other two were. With the other two,
Not
you got
what? Sorry, indicative.
Is that the right word?
I don't know.
With Smosh, you've got the that's what he did kind of thing. Where Crush, I don't remember Crush doing loads of clotheslines or anything like that, so it doesn't kind of gel with him for me like that. But this was kind of like my green card at the time. This was the one I searched for on Kai Boots every single week, and it took me absolutely ages to find. You're definitely right. There's something not quite right about the face, but obviously the face paint covers it and looks great. 8.6.
High praise. Jamie?
I think for me, it's got a bit of dumb face. I think would be the term I'd use. I've never really been a massive fan of that Crusher's face. I think they nailed it for the later releases, but this one didn't really cut the mustard for me. Dan Bassett, on the other hand, was put 9 out of 10. Was elusive as a kid, made it so much more attractive. His all pair wouldn't stand for having a second Smash and tried to convince her that Axe and Smash were the better version, which transpires to be true. But even so, good like this cool figure. A little backstory into why he is how he is. For me, I enjoy the action. So I think it was supposed to be an Axe originally, wasn't it? But I'm glad that they released a Crush. I haven't got a massive crush on it. It's a straight 7 for me.
That is quite low because myself and Adam are in the 6s, and is the average of the LOH, and that is 8.43. So Jamie brings that score down quite significantly. As we move on to another one that was quite highly sought after, it's Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
None of you guys have got this one either.
No.
I did it as a kid.
I never had it as a kid.
With it being so expensive, you think, oh, what a good figure this is, but it's not really. Start from the bottom up. The boots are pretty accurate, so that's plus. Yellow knee pads, fair enough. It doesn't have any spots on, but I forgive that. No spots on the trunks. That's not very good. That's quite unforgivable, really. And the vest is done quite well, but should have had a vest or not? Probably should have, to be fair. And the head is not very good, and it's just attached to the body, which is a bit weird. And it suffers from quite a lot of looseness. It's hard to find them without. So it's not a very well-made figure, and I don't like the action.
We'll cut across to the Legion of Hasbro for their insights. So Kieran Keogh has put 7. Cool-looking figure. Never got when younger, but finally got it this year. I think that seems to be the common theme with Dusty, looking through the comments, is that you only really owned it as an adult when you fork out the big bucks for it.
That's the thing. Not sure it was released over here, was it?
It was, but I think it's because a lot of people, it was way gone, wasn't he, by the time this figure came out? So I think they only had one wave of it released.
All right, so they didn't release many of them. Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Adam?
Yeah, I think I just put the fact there's no headband is a bit annoying. I do like the fact that he's got a fist to do his little jabs with, which I quite enjoyed. But again, there's no real good detail there apart from the boots. And I could have done with him smiling. The head's weird.
Doesn't look anything like him, the head.
No. Shame. Well, Gavin Denny has put, it's an 8. Lovely figure, love the outfit and hair colour. Another wrist tape that isn't painted.
Yeah.
So, thing to note on there. I'll kick the scores off. I'm not going to give it as high as an 8, only because I don't think it's that good of a figure. I'm going to go for a 6.5 on Dusty.
I thought you were going to go much higher than that, the way you were gearing up. Adam?
I don't think I'm being too harsh. It's definitely one of the lower ones of the whole line, so 5.9.
Yep. I've just deducted a bit from my score. Originally had it at 6.7, but the face I've just looked at again, it's horrific. So it's 6.2.
Your face offends my mirror.
They have been a bit more generous at an average of 6.96.
I think with this figure, I think it's quite guilty of being blinded by the value, if that makes sense. I think because it's quite a sought after and quite an expensive figure, in your head you think it's a lot better than it actually is.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Moving on, we've got Hacksaw Jim Duggan comes with his 2x4.
I've only got the mini version of this.
Well, that doesn't count.
Doesn't count, so I left it upstairs. But all in all, I think it was actually Phil that put. He didn't like the cross-eyed side of things, or the eye was a bit wonky on there. He put 7. Cool accessory, wonky eye though. But Hacksaw had a wonky eye. If you look at the image on the back of the card, it's perfect. Really good representation of him having a wonky eye, of his face, of his expression. The accessory is really good. I know it's a bit of a bland figure, but it's sort of very much what he wore.
Pretty much. Adam, thoughts?
Yeah, it's another one of those where for me it's simple but done well. His face is good. Like the eyes are good, the expression's good. He's got the thumbs up, which is really good. There's an attempt at chest hair. It could have been better, but there's an attempt there. Going down to his belly as well, down to belly button hair. He holds the 2x4 well by my remembering of it. I don't actually have one, but by the way I remember it, I think it's really good. I enjoy the figure.
Yeah, I thought I'd give this a lot higher, but when I've looked at it, I've taken into account the cross-eyedness, and it's just too cross-eyed. It's like his eyes almost going into it, the side of into the middle of his head, so it's a bit overdone. And never noticed the chest hair bit before, but now you've mentioned that's a plus. The body size is perfect. I was reading the Legion Hasbro comments earlier, and I never noticed he's got black boots. He never wore black boots. He always wore the blue boots. So it's an unfortunate one for him. But this 2x4 is a lovely accessory. It's like really well made, and it's detailed enough with its wood grain. So it's good, but it's not going to break the upper sides of it. I'm going to go for 7.1. I
was mid-7s, but the boots comment is right. The Mattel Elite has blue boots as well, so yeah. So that's just knocked it down a little bit for me, so I will go 7.2.
Yeah, annoying really. I was fully ready to score this figure an 8, and then you said about the boots. I've got to take 2 points off, haven't I? Or 0.2, 7.8. Scott Schofield has put, before The Godfather, there was Hacksaw, and then he's wrote, 7.5.
Wonderful comment.
Insightful.
I noticed there was a lot of 7s for this figure, wasn't there? It was like 7, 7, 7, 7, 7.
It's a very 7 figure.
Yeah.
It's not too offensive. It's not, too overwhelming. It's just a nice 7.
7.18 was the final score from Legion of Hasbro, and I don't think we've done too much to disrupt that.
That's what it deserves.
Guess so. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.
It's the Honky Tonk Man.
He's
Anyone
cool.
have it?
He's cocky. He's bad.
Has it?
No, I'm trying to find a good one. So I'm waiting, holding off for a bit.
I thought you weren't bothered about the condition. Oh.
No, but I really, really liked the Honky Tonk Man as a kid, so I want to make sure I keep and find which one I find and make sure I keep it.
There it is. Right, Adam, thoughts?
I like it. I liked it as a kid. I've always said that I'm not one of these where they're wearing their entrance attires. But for some reason, that didn't bother me as a kid with this particular figure. I don't know why. I do have the guitar somewhere, and I think the guitar is really well made. I don't really like the breakable ones that they do nowadays, so I actually prefer the Honky Tonk Man's. The outfit is as detailed as I think they could be at the time. Obviously, he had a lot more detail and Elvis pictures and stuff on his actual one, but doesn't really take anything away for me. The fact that it's blue and they didn't go with a different color, I like. I think the head's really good. I think the head is an amazing likeness. Yeah, I think it's a really good figure.
And I think it is an excellent figure. It is the best one I've come across in this review so far. So I think it's a lot of detail in the suit, and it's molded on. It's not just painted on, it's molded on. It's really good. There's good detail in the guitar, there's good detail in the belt. Absolutely 100% the right choice to put him in entrance gear and not in wrestling gear. And the face is spot on as well. I'm going really high on this one. Jamie?
Sounds like you're getting high off it. Yeah, I'd completely agree with the pair of you. I think as a kid, I love this figure. As an adult, I love this figure. Without the guitar, I think it's still a great figure. With the guitar, it just adds it to that extra thing. Patrick Ayres from Legion of Hasbro has put, what more could you say about this figure? He's just a honky-tonk man. He's cool, he's cocky, he's bad. And despite being almost 30 years senior, his Balsa is a lot less flimsy and a lot unsensitive than Elias. So he's compared him to Elias there. So for me, I kick off the scores of this one. If it doesn't have a guitar, I'm giving it a 9. But the guitar comes with it, it's 9.5.
Lovely. Go on, Adam.
Do you know when you learn something new, like every day? I've only just realised after all these years that that's a Cadillac. I thought it was just like a line.
Oh,
I've only just realised it's a Cadillac.
Hold on to the screen. Yeah, never.
I've never actually factored that in. That's just raised it for me.
Oh, they should have coloured it in pink.
I'm going to go for a 9.1.
And it is 9.2 from me. And the Legion of Hasbro scored an average at 8.86. So not quite a 9, but it's the second highest they've given any figure so far.
Well, I think David O'Neill has just put 10, love it, which is brilliant. What you got to put? 10, love it. What could you want?
Well, I thought as well. Excellent, love it. 9.2. 9.2. It's not a 10.
Not a 10.
Right, next he's also top of the league for his Series 1 figure. It is Hulk Hogan from Series 2. This one's doing the bear hug action or the pose, I guess.
I've got this one as well, but it's in the loft. But I could get enough from it. I'm seeing you too.
With a lot. And what's really good about this is the design that's on the shirt. I think it's really well done. It's printed on very well. Just actually noticed mine isn't looking too well. Actually, I might see if I can find it. I don't want to swap it out. I've got a load of spares somewhere. I might go have a look and see if there's a better one. Jamie,
I like the bit of detail on the back of the shirt. I know the rips of Series 1 are quite good, but I think his arms are quite raised on one of the poses, which means that the back of the T-shirt, if you just look on Adam's screen there, the rip is slightly raised as well, which I think is a nice little bit of detail they've added on there. But all in all, as a kid, you couldn't really overly play with that much. If it was your only Hogan that you had, it's a bit annoying, but it appeared quite a lot of car boot sales, this.
Yeah. I think this figure is like a love it or hate it type figure. Do you love it or do you hate it, Adam?
As a child, I absolutely hated it. Whenever you had somebody in a move, it fell over because the front was too heavy then, because it's already almost too heavy the way it is. And you just couldn't do anything. You couldn't do a single move with it other than the bear hug, which fell over. As an adult, I can appreciate things like the T-shirt and things like that, but it's not a patch on the original one.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Any comments from Legion Hasbro, Jamie, before we move on?
Well, Chris Black has put good for a Hulkster hug, maybe even a pile driver, but not much else. Great pose, though. He's giving it a 6.
Good comments. And Jamie, kick us off with a score.
I don't like it, but I don't hate it. 6, straight 6.
Yeah. Okay. Adam?
6.5 for display purposes only.
Oh, you got to score it as an overall. Can't just say it's.
No. What I'm saying is I'll give it a 6.5. That's what's actually made it up to a 6.5, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, understand. I've just wrote your scores in the wrong place. Bear with me. And I'm giving it a 6.8, just a little bit higher than Jamie's. The Legion Hasbro scored it 7.42 overall. So
Oh.
they
That's a
tend
Hogan
to
figure. No.
like it more than they hated. Right, so let's round out this round of figures with going back to the Bushwhackers. It's Luke from the Bushwhackers with his strange Bushwhacker walk. Yes, so Jamie, talk us through it.
I prefer this one to the Butch. Just like Adam was saying earlier, it's just got a lot more playability with it, and it's quite fun. You move your arms up and down, and what's not to love about that? You can do your Bushwhacker walk. So yeah, great figure all round. Really good detail. Wayne Pete has put very good likeness, good action for a Bushwhacker, just not very practical for wrestling, figure wrestling matches. I think you meant to say wrestling figure matches.
Fair enough. I think he's got a good point there. It's a strange one to score because, in a way, the action's perfect for the Bushwhacker, but then he's right, you can't really do much moves with it. Or can you? You could pose him like this. You could put the arms down. Never sort of thought of putting them like that so he looks like a normal person, not a one up, one down. Yeah, fun one. He's got one tooth though. I think he had a bit more than that.
That's 2 teeth.
Oh, does he?
2 teeth, but they're
Not painted. Oh yeah.
there are like a little gap in between.
Yeah.
Even so, I think he had more teeth than 2.
Yeah, so is it better or worse than Butch? Adam?
Yeah, it was definitely the better one for me. As a kid to play with, like I said, I had two Lukes as the Bushwhackers. I think facial wise, it is slightly better than Butch as well. I would give it overall lack of playability 6.8.
Cool. I've just went 1 decimal point above my score for Butch, and I've given it a 7, straight 7.
Daniel Ahmed has put 7. I quite like this figure, and I feel it's rather underrated. Ironically, he's gone under the rating of me, 7.4.
Well, you've scored higher than any of us, but Legion of Hasbro have scored it higher than all of us at an average of 7.58. So they also thought it was better than Butch.
It just is, isn't it? It's just a general, as a whole figure, it's just really good.
Yeah. As we go through this little retro review, I'm always finding little bits that are wrong with this. The action isn't quite working well on mine. I have to try.
I think mine works well if you use one hand, and it doesn't work well if you use the other. Like this one works perfectly, but then if I try and use this hand, it doesn't move right.
Yeah. And I found like a issue with me Hogan and the logo. Wish I never did this.
Expensive, isn't it? Yeah, another round in the bag. What have we got to look forward to for next? What will the Hasbro guys be doing next week?
Next week, Series 2, Part 2, we have Macho King Randy Savage. We've got Marty Jannetty from the Rockers, Roddy Piper, then Shawn Michaels from the Rockers, then Superfly Jimmy Snuka, the second helping of Ted DiBiase, and the second helping of the Ultimate Warrior.
Very good.
Good name.
Yeah, sort of. I think the who's who of childhood figures. I think everyone would have had majority, if not all of those, as kids.
I actually think I had all of these, yes.
Yeah, I did.
Lovely stuff, boys. Well, I for one can't wait. I'm sure you guys can't either. But yeah, that brings us to a wrap for the episode.
Whew, it's been a long one.
That's been a long one. It has. But yeah, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel just to keep up to date with the old retro review if needs be and the episodes of the podcast. But boys, Johnny, we'll see you later on.
See you later.
And Adam, all the best.
Peace.